Raymond sat with his friends at their usual evening spot, but tonight the laughter around the table felt distant. They had barely settled into their seats before the conversation returned to the same subject. "You still shouldn't have cancelled that trip," Chris said, shaking his head. "That move could have changed everything." Raymond sighed. "It wasn't just about the trip," he replied quietly. "There's more to it now." The others exchanged curious glances. Raymond leaned forward, lowering his voice. "It's Stella and Janet." That shifted the tone instantly. He looked from one face to another. "I need your honest advice. If you were in my position, who would you choose?" Chris spoke first. "Stella," he said confidently. "Let's be realistic. She fits your life, your background, your future. She's elegant, refined, and yes, beautiful." Amos nodded in agreement. "Stella walks into a room and belongs there," he added. "No explanations needed." Raymond turned to Johnson, who had been quietly listening. "Johnson." Johnson shrugged. "Janet." The table fell silent. Johnson continued calmly. "Stella may match your world, but Janet matches your heart." The others scoffed, but Raymond didn't. Because deep down, he knew that was exactly the problem. Later that day, Ode stepped into Raymond's office unannounced. He didn't look tense. In fact, he was unusually calm. Raymond looked up from his desk. "Ode." Ode took a seat without ceremony. "I won't waste time," he said evenly. "You need to revisit your decision about the overseas move." Raymond leaned back slightly. "I told you I'm still thinking about it." Ode nodded. "I know." He paused, then added lightly. "I also noticed Stella stopped by recently." Raymond's expression tightened. Ode smiled faintly. "She looked comfortable here." Silence lingered. Ode leaned forward. "You should let go of Janet," he said plainly. "Stella understands your world." Raymond's voice dropped. "I will make the trip soon," he replied. "But don't interfere in my relationship again." He paused, then added, "I will study both of them and make my choice soon." Ode studied him. "I don't need advice on who to love." The air between them shifted, calm on the surface, tense underneath. At work, Janet tried to stay focused. But her thoughts refused to cooperate. As she moved through her duties, her mind kept returning to Raymond. To the pauses in his voice. To the way he had been distant lately. To the calls he didn't explain. A quiet uncertainty began to creep in. She found herself asking questions she never thought she would. Does he still love me? Or is something changing? Is there someone else? Janet shook the thought away, but it returned, heavier each time. Because sometimes silence says more than words. Stella sat with her friends, laughter flowing easily as the conversation turned to Raymond. "So, you've started seeing him again?" one of them asked. Stella smiled. "He's still the same," she said lightly. Another friend raised an eyebrow. "But we all know you're already with Henry, the senator's son." The table grew quiet. "How do you plan to date Raymond too?" Stella leaned back calmly. "I'm playing smart." Her friends exchanged looks. Both men are successful, she continued. Both are going places. A slow smile crossed her face. I'll marry whoever settles down first. The room fell silent. If Raymond moves first, I marry Raymond. He shrugged. If Henry moves first, I marry Henry. Her tone was light, but her meaning was clear. As soon as Stella left her friends, she headed straight to Henry's house for dinner. The evening was warm and relaxed. Henry welcomed her with an easy smile, clearly pleased to see her. Over dinner, their conversation flowed effortlessly, light laughter, shared memories, quiet understanding. At some point, Stella reached across the table. Her voice softened. I care about you, Henry, she said. She held his gaze. I promise you, my love. She paused briefly, then added, come rain or shine, I will marry you. Henry smiled, reassured, unaware that her heart was already walking two paths. That night, Raymond lay in bed, eyes fixed on the ceiling as though the answers to his life were written somewhere in the silence above him. Sleep refused to come. His thoughts moved in circles. His career. The overseas opportunity. The future waiting. And then, the choice. Stella. Janet. He turned slowly. What do I really want? Peace, or approval? Love, or expectation? Stella belonged to the world his family wanted. Janet belonged to the world his heart leaned toward. He exhaled deeply. One truth became painfully clear. He couldn't trust his mother's judgment on this matter. Nor Aid's. Both had already chosen for him. Both preferred Stella. Their advice would never be neutral. Their vision of his future had no space for Janet. Raymond closed his eyes. If I listen to them, will I be choosing my life, or theirs? The silence of the night deepened his thoughts. He remembered his late father. And the one man who had always understood him best. Uncle Tommy. His father's junior brother. A man untouched by pressure. A man who saw beyond appearances. Raymond shifted slightly, the decision forming within him. I need clarity, not influence. By dawn, his mind was made up. He would go and see Uncle Tommy. Perhaps there, away from expectation. He would finally hear his own truth. Inside the restaurant kitchen, away from the chatter of customers and the clinking of plates, Janet stood quietly beside her closest friend at work, Mercy. The evening rush had slowed, but Mercy's attention was not on the food. It was on Janet. She had been watching her for days now. The silence. The absent-minded mistakes. The way Janet sometimes drifted into thought while slicing vegetables or plating meals. Mercy wiped her hands and turned fully toward her. Janet, what's going on? Janet forced a small smile. Nothing. Mercy shook her head gently. I know you, she said. This is not nothing. The kitchen felt unusually quiet. Mercy lowered her voice. You've changed. Janet looked away. You used to laugh more, talk more. Now you're always somewhere else in your mind. She paused, studying Janet's face. This is about him, isn't it? Janet didn't answer. That was answer enough. Mercy stepped closer. I'm not saying don't love, she said softly. But be careful. Her tone carried both concern and experience. Don't give your whole heart to someone whose word you don't fully understand. Janet swallowed. Mercy's voice softened further. I don't want to see you get hurt. The words lingered in the warm air of the kitchen. Because Mercy could already sense it. Janet was standing at the edge of something that could either build her or break her. As doubts grow and choices draw closer, the heart may soon be forced to decide what the mind cannot. Will Raymond find clarity? Or will emotions lead him deeper into confusion? Watch out for part 8, because the next move may change everything.